Hi, I'm Leslie Theory, and I am currently teaching fifth grade at Discovery Elementary. And this online class offers strategies for unrolling a student-led classroom. And one of the first things you need to do when you're unrolling a student-led classroom is foster a collaborative culture. So this online class is just going to give you some suggestions and strategies for doing that. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at ltheory030@mygfschools.org or tweet me at Leslie Theory or at Mrs. Theory's class. So first of all, people ask, what is a student-led classroom? And in a student-led classroom, students are making decisions and choices throughout the day without consulting the teacher. So student-led classrooms foster students who are risk takers, students who make creative decisions, and students who work well together. So Paul Solaris says students need to become risk takers, but systems and classrooms that prioritize grades foster a fear of failure and worse, apathy. And reflecting on that, I've taught a lot of years, and I would say each and every year, um, in every class, in all the grade levels that I've taught, there has always been that student who has a fear of failure. The child who breaks down when they didn't get the A on the test, the child who puts their head down and cries when they miss a problem in math and they can't understand it, the child who rips up their drawing, because it's not absolutely perfect, the kiddo who erases and puts holes in their paper, because their handwriting isn't just right. So I think that's scary. But even worse is the kids who come in with apathy, the apathetic kiddos who don't care, who are unmotivated. And it's like, whatever, I have to be here. I don't want to be here. Give me the F. I don't care. No one's going to care if I get an F. They feel so devalued. And in a student-led classroom, we want all kids to take risks, and we want them to know that failure is okay. If you fail and you learn from failure, you're going to grow. And so with that, we try to instill a growth mindset in that it's okay to fail. We just want you to get better. We want you to keep thinking. We want you to keep trying. We just want you to know that there's another solution out there. Keep going. Okay, and we also want, kids making creative decisions. So Paul Solaris says rigid rules and step-by-step directions stifle creativity and innovation. And I've really tried hard to step away from giving, do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. Sometimes we need to do that to teach, but I try to step away from that and give them more opportunities to try to figure out and problem solve those things on their own. Sometimes it's messy and sometimes it's a little bit chaotic, but I have definitely seen the rewards in giving them choice. And then he also says, and I love this part, but he says we need to learn to work well with others. We all do. But students can't develop interpersonal skills working alone or listening to the teacher all day. And so that really resonated with me. I think about all of the times that I did all of the talking, and I said, I would talk, 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 and then I said, go. And in order for kids to develop skills, we need to give them time to work together in a safe environment where they can fail and make mistakes, and we can encourage them to try again, or we can teach, them social skills so that they can work well together with other people. So how do we do that? Well, your standards, your objectives, your targets, your goals, those won't change. But the way that you teach, the method that you use is going to change. So it's going to if you think about it in three parts, there'll be a mini lesson, some collaborative work and time for feedback, and then a reflection and synthesis. So a mini lesson it's a teacher-led instruction. It's where you teach what you want to teach, you say what you want to say, and then you get out of the way. I try to keep that like within a 10 to 15 minute time frame. That's taken a lot of practice, but it's working. Sometimes I need a little more than that, and I do take a little more time than that at times, but I try not to make that a practice. And then it's followed up by some collaborative work time. So this might mean kids are working in partners, you might have small group work, you might even have kids working individually, but then checking in with a partner. And during that collaborative work time, you are walking around, you are checking in with them, and you are giving them current feedback. A lot of times we'll give them work and then we'll correct it and look at it a couple days later and then give them feedback. But at that time, the feedback really isn't applicable to what they were doing then, and it's not applicable to where they're at right now. So we want to keep feedback current and almost on the spot. And then we'll give them time for reflection and synthesis. And that might look like, let's meet as a whole group. Let's talk about how that went. What were some struggles? What went well? Would you like to show us what went well? It might be, turn and talk. Just turn to your partner and tell them something you've learned today. Tell them something you've struggled with today. Turn to your partner and tell them something that you worked through today and accomplished. And then synthesis means, like, you might say, okay, how is this going to help us tomorrow? If we're learning our math facts today, how are our math facts going to help us with our long division algorithm? Or we're learning about the settlements in social studies today. How is learning how people settled in the United States going to help us learn how people were successful in making America what it is? So you want to give them time to synthesize too. You'll see a little flickering goldfish up there, and that's a reminder to me. There's this, and I don't know, it's like a theory, I suppose, but it's called the age of the goldfish, and it's a theory about attention span. And it says that the attention span of millennials who are like 35 years and younger is decreasing. And that's because they're masters at multitasking. And so there's this spacing effect where they jump in and they learn and then they jump out. And that's it's effective for them. So the days of forcing people to sit and learn for long periods of time are really over, because learning right now needs to be flexible, easily accessible, and kept in bite-sized chunks. And this method really works well for that. These are the components of a student-led classroom that Paul Solares will talk about in his book, Learn Like a Pirate. And we're really going to focus mostly on peer collaboration with this online class.